Hello, everybody. I hope that you are all doing great. Today I'm out and about running some errands. I just finished coming out of the supermarket to do my weekly grocery shopping. I hadn't been out of the house for a couple days because I've been trying to not go out as often as I used to. I'm trying to be safe, right? And only go out when I really need to. And today I had to get out to buy groceries. And when I go grocery shopping, I always try and go on a time when I know not too many people are going to be there. And there wasn't a whole lot of people inside the store, which was good. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Yesterday we had some snow, not bad, but a little bit on the ground. And today it was just a gorgeous sunny day. It doesn't even feel like winter, right? And let me show you. I don't know if you can see Kroger. That's where I like to go do my grocery shopping. I bought some fish for dinner because me and my husband love fish. And I ran some other errands. I had to go to the bank, the post office. I did all kinds of things. I try and pick one day out of the week where I go and I try and get all the things done that I need to do. Today, I want to talk to you about not despising small beginnings. What does that mean, not despising small beginnings? It's in the Bible, in Zechariah 4:10, I believe. I'm going to give you share with you a little story that is a good example of what that means. Do not despise small beginnings. When me and my husband moved to Ohio in 2002, my goodness sake, that's a long time ago. I was unemployed and just waiting around to be called for interviews. And in the meantime, I decided to feed some homeless in the street. It was a way for me to stay busy and not get bored being home. And it was just me by myself going out into the street, handing out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because that is what I could afford at the time. I used to go to Dollar General and I would buy large jars of peanut butter and jelly, and then I'd buy several loaves of bread. I'd go home, slap some sandwiches together, and go out and hand them out to the homeless. And it was just me by myself. And I did that for a long, long time. And every week I would go out. And I started to get tired. And there was a lot of homeless, more than I could feed on my own. And I remember I would lift up prayers to God and I'd say, Lord, send me helpers. I need helpers. But God was not responding to my request. And I just knew I couldn't give up, right? Giving up was not an option for me because I knew eventually God was going to send me the help that I needed. And that's exactly what happened. Weeks went by with me just doing it all on my own, shouldering everything on my own. And one day at church, I met a young man. I didn't know him very well, but I was telling him about my homeless feeding. And he says to me, next time you go, I'd like to go with you. And now we had two people going out to feed. And I would take my little sandwiches and he would take things, and we were feeding more homeless that way. And then weeks went by and I met another lady, and I was telling her the same thing, and she said, next time you go, please tell me, because I want to go with you. There were 3 of us feeding, and eventually there were more people coming out and helping us feed, and it was wonderful just seeing all the volunteers coming out and helping with the feeding, and seeing the faces of the homeless being so joyful and thankful for the little things that we were giving to them. And when I was still feeding on my own, I used to think, well, it's just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I felt like I should be giving more than that, but my budget did not allow it. But I'm going to tell you, the homeless individuals that I used to go and feed with my little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they were always so thankful. And I remember one time, one young man came to me and he said, I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because they remind me of my mother. She used to make them for me, and I used to eat them with a large glass of milk. And those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that I used to hand out were a reminder of good things when he was young. It was a fond memory for him. And even though I used to see them as just, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they were thrilled. And sometimes they would even ask me for 2 sandwiches. Don't despise small beginnings, all right? And after that we were out there feeding, I met another lady, and I was telling her about my homeless feeding, and she said, you should think about starting a nonprofit 501c3. And she said, if you're interested, I can help you do the paperwork for you, and I won't charge you anything, because this is what she was doing for other individuals. And since she was my friend, she said, I'll do it for free. And she did the paperwork, sent it out, and we were awarded the nonprofit 501c3. But it took a long time. It took almost 2 years to get all that. And I remember I was so excited and just thankful when I finally got the letter in the mail from the government telling me, congratulations, you have been awarded this. And I was just so thankful and happy. And I had a friend at the time who was interested in starting his own 501c3. And he had money, all right? Money that I did not have. And he paid a lawyer big money to do the paperwork. And they sent the application out, and they were denied. And when he found out that they awarded me that, he was rather upset with me. He says to me, how can you be a president of a company and have your 501c3? He said, you don't even have a PhD. You don't even have a master's. You don't even have a building. He was a businessman, and he thought like a businessman. And those things, those material things, for him represented success. And we didn't have any of those things. It's true. We didn't have any of those things, and we still don't have those things. But let me tell you, when God is on your side, nothing will get in the way of you accomplishing what He has sent you out to do. And this friend of mine, like I said, he was rather upset because he felt if anyone should have been awarded this, it should have been him. He's the one with the big money. He's the one with a PhD in the back of his name. He didn't get it. You know what I mean? He did not get it. That it's all God. But like I said, he was a businessman, and those things, all those material things, to him represented success. And because I didn't have those things, he didn't feel that I should be awarded this status. All right. It was so funny. It made me kind of laugh and chuckle. But you see, when God has something for you, there's nothing anyone can do or say that will stop what He has for you, all right? God will make a way for your gifts and your talents. And if some of you are interested in starting a homeless ministry, some of you have contacted me asking me for advice on this, I want to say to you, be patient, all right? Pray about it. Take it to God first. Pray about it. Ask Him for guidance and wisdom, and be willing to listen what He has to say to you, all right? And keep in mind that you do not need a nonprofit. You do not need a 501c3 to do homeless ministry. When I started, like I said, it was just me with my little peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Just keep that in mind, all right? If you have the heart to do something like that, do it. But first, ask God if this is what He wants for you, all right? Do not despise small beginnings. When I started feeding, I used to have people that I knew that used to downplay what I used to do because they were like my friend with a PhD in back of his name. They felt like, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Grace, this is what you're giving them? But let me tell you, the homeless love the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. To them, it was like steak. Well, maybe not like steak, but they loved them, all right. I just wanted to share that little story with you. Do not despise small beginnings. If you're starting out small, good. As long as you're doing God's work, all right? See, God does not care about your PhD, all right? He does not care that you don't have a fancy building with your business name on it. He doesn't care that that you have money, all right? He cares about what you do for others. What is it that you're doing to help the less fortunate? That is what He's interested in, all right? He wants to know, how are you using your gifts and your talents that I gave to you? Are you sitting on them? Did you put them away in a junk drawer? That is what impresses God, all right? Not the fancy titles and material things that you have. I like to say, you will never see a U-Haul truck pulling up to the pearly gates of heaven, all right? So don't ever let anyone put you down and make you feel like you're less than. when I'm doing my work, feeding the homeless, I just want to know that I am doing what God has put in my heart to do. I want God to one day look down on me and tell his angels, have you seen my faithful servant? Have you seen what things she is doing to help the less fortunate? That would be an awesome thing, right? Don't you want God to boast about you one day? To be telling the angels, look at my faithful servant. Look at what she or he is doing. That is what I want, all right? All those material things are not important to me. Like I said, it's a beautiful sunny day. It doesn't even feel like winter. It's nice and warm out. There's the Kroger's that I like to go to. And here I am, getting ready to head back home to go put some fish in the broiler so that me and my husband can have a nice meal for dinner. Okay, sweetie, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate you stopping by and watching my little videos, okay? It means a lot to me. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that little notification bell so that you'll know when I post something new, okay? I try and post something at least twice a week. Sometimes I'm not able to, all right? I hope this video inspired you in some way, even if it's just a little bit. Gave you something to think about, encouraged you, and just go and do what you feel God is calling you to do, all right? Do not let the gifts and talents that Christ gave you sit idle in some junk drawer, okay? And if that's where they're at, you better go get them out, all right? And use them, all right? Because one day you are going to have to account for all these things. One day you and me are going to have to go before Christ, and he's going to ask you, what did you do with the gifts and talents that I gave you? Make sure you have a good answer for him, all right? All right, sweetie. It's good talking to you. I hope you enjoyed this little video that I posted. I hope it gave you some encouragement and something to think about, all right? Bye-bye, sweetie. Stay safe, stay blessed. And if you're going out, make sure that you wear your mask, all right? And you keep your distance, because you know what is out there roaring like a lion, all right? Okay, sweetie. Always remember that God loves you very, very much. Come back and visit with us, all right? Bye-bye.